Yeah, hi. So, yeah, I just wanted to make this video. I want to make a video. I'm gonna make a video. My mental health. So, where do we begin? Where can we start? What do we have to say? I've been going through quite the journey with my mental health recently. It all started, let me take you back to a couple months ago when they put me on antidepressants. Now, if you don't know anything about mental health or antidepressants or personality disorders, if you will, with my mental health issues, and there's a slew of them, they could be triggered or offset by medication. My default state is usually like a depressed, melancholy-ish state, which then cycles through mania. The mania is usually about once a year. It's gotten a lot better as I've gotten older. It used to be a lot more frequent as I was younger. When I was younger, as I'm getting older, the mania, they come around once a year. The mania does. The extreme mania, where I'm like being impulsive and I am being promiscuous and I am talking to people and I'm making friends and I'm doing things I normally don't do. And I usually cycle in one of those moods for a good month or two. It could last 3 months. It just really depends on how I'm feeling. And then when I went to go get on antidepressants, I had been in a depressive state and for so long, like a really long time, like a really deep depression for a very long time. And when I got put on antidepressants, when I started to feel better, it threw me into a manic phase. Like it threw me into a straight mania. And I was like talking to random guys that I don't talk. I mean, I wasn't like having sex with people, but like in my youth, that's what I would have done. But I was just talking to people, being more outgoing, agreeing to things that I wouldn't never normally agree to, such as like going out places, doing things, stuff like that. And so sorry, I'm really scatterbrained right now. But also I have a habit of, once I start to feel better on these medications, I stop taking them, which is what I've done again. Okay, so they tried to put me on a medication called Latuda. I took about a couple days worth of the medication and then I just stopped because it scared me. I have like PTSD trauma from all the years I spent in treatment and being on all those different types of medications. I don't know, to me in my own head, like I want to believe that these medicines can work and that they do work for some people and most people. But for me, I just feel like that it's not the answer. That's not the answer, because one, I'm going to be mentally ill my entire life. I don't want to be on medications for the rest of my life. I don't want to be dependent on a medicine to help me feel happy and help me feel any type of emotion. So that's what scares me about pills and having to take them for my mood and to be happy. I don't want to be reliant on that. So anytime I start to feel any type of anything, whether it be better or worse, I stop taking medications. And this is a cycle with me. This is a pattern. I've already told my therapist about this. Like I've told her, like, if I'm not monitored heavily, that I will just stop taking these medications on my own, because I don't believe that I need them. I don't know. I may sound crazy, and correct me if I'm wrong. I know these medications aren't stuff you're supposed to just stop and start on your own. Like, obviously don't do what I do. But I was taking Wellbutrin, and I kind of felt like I had plateaued with this medicine. I stopped feeling better. I started to feel worse. I started to get like really heavily into like thinking about excuse me. I started to get really heavy suicidal ideations, which is like, I'm not suicidal, but like I can't stop thinking about what it would be like, you know? Like, obviously I'm not suicidal. I don't want to die. I've got my children. I've got a will to live. I'm happy for the most part. But no, I don't want to die. And I certainly don't have any plans to, you know, to commit suicide or carry out a suicide. But like, the suicidal ideation is a thing with these medications. Like, and so my plateau hit around the end of September, beginning of October is when I plateaued on this medicine, and I stopped taking it regularly. I stopped being really adamant about taking it and not missing like a dose. And then I've completely stopped taking it altogether now. Because I felt like it was just making me worse. I felt like it was clouding my judgment. I felt like it was, and I told my doctor all this. I told her, I was like, you know, either can you take me off of this completely, or can you increase it, because I feel like it's not helping me anymore. You know, I have a pretty severe base level of depression. You know, I was diagnosed with chronic depression when I was like 14 or 15. So my baseline is just, you know, pretty melancholy. And I told her that I needed either to be increased with something else, or increase the medication, or take me off of it because it's not working anymore. And she was like, well, blah, blah. She gave me all kinds of excuses. I don't know what the hell I don't even remember what she said to me. And so after that day, I just didn't take it anymore. I just stopped taking it. And now, it has like, I've gone into like one of these BPD episodes where like I withdraw heavily, like, and I disassociate, which I don't like. I hate when I disassociate, especially when I'm like trying to get close to somebody new. People can see it as pushing them away, or they can see it as something that it's not. It's just basically me disassociating from myself, and I can't even, I can't explain it. It's really hard to explain, and it's really frustrating because people see my actions and they see my reactions as something that they're not intended to be taken as. Like, I'm not sitting here plotting against people, or I'm not like actively withdrawing from people or wanting to not talk to people. It's just like, I am so not in my own head during the day, and just in general, that like the thought of bringing anyone into my headspace is exhausting. Which is why I haven't been making videos recently, because I've just been not sleeping, not eating. Well, I'm swinging between not eating and eating everything. Like, I can't find a happy medium right now, which is really frustrating. So I'm just going through it. Mentally, I'm going through the most. You know, I'm trying to keep it together. I'm trying to, you know, basically, the way I feel like is I'm like trudging through deep water every single day. Like, I wake up and I'm like, oh, here we go again. this again. Oh God, just anything but this. Take my eyes, but not my hands, you know, like. So that's how I feel. And I've been trying to get inspiration to do anything with my art, and I just don't have anything in me. Yeah. And I feel bad because, you know, there's people in my life who need me, I guess. But I don't know what I'm talking about right now. Like, I'm so far removed from my own self at this point that just surviving, just getting through the day is an effort. It feels monumental when another day has passed, and like, you know, it's really hard to get through life when you don't have like a something to focus on, you know. And usually I'm good at like finding things to focus on throughout the day, and teaching myself things, and reading books and all this stuff, and keeping myself busy. But recently I've just been in a funk, and I've been in some type of mood where I'm just so far removed from myself mentally that I can't, it's hard for me to just, I'm like clawing at trying to get back to what I used to do, who I used to be. But anyway, I love you guys, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.